Sea Turtles, Ocean Nomads, Chapter 4. So here are our vocabulary words for the chapter. And today, for the assignment for Chapter 4, if you could just choose 5 of the vocabulary words and then use them in a sentence. After you finished, if you would take a picture of it and put it on Seesaw or email, that would be awesome. So number 1 is vague. My dad left vague or unclear instructions about watering the plants. Number 2, internal. Our internal organs are found inside our bodies. So internal means inside. Number 3, estimates. She received estimates for getting her car fixed. She knows about how much it will cost to fix her car. And we use estimates a lot in math, just about how much. Number 4, reproduce. When I reproduce worksheets for class, I am making copies to be used by many students. Number 5, biologists. Biologists are scientists that study plant and animal life. Number 6, satellite. A satellite is a device that orbits the Earth, sending signals and information back to Earth. Number 7, pinpoint. To pinpoint is to locate something with great precision or accuracy. Number 8, cues. Cues are signals or hints. Number 9, navigational. A navigational device gives you directions to go from one place to another. And number 10, lagoon. A lagoon is a shallow pond that is near a large body of water. So choose 5 of those words and use them in a sentence, please. Here are your questions for Chapter 4. If you could make sure you answer the questions with complete sentences. And also when you finish, if you could take a picture of your responses and put them on Seesaw or send them by email. So number 1, scientists know a lot about a sea turtle's life on land, but little about its life in the sea. What do you think motivates scientists to try to follow the sea turtles in the sea? Why would they want to even study what their life is like in the sea? What motivates them to do that? Number 2, the text on page 30 talks about the surprising results of Brian Bowen's genetic tagging of sea turtles. Why might he have been surprised by these results? What was surprising about the results? Number 3, the text on pages 28 and 30 talks about how turtles might follow navigational clues such as the length of daylight. How might scientists be able to explore this idea further and help protect sea turtles? So what are they learning on those 2 pages that might help them learn how to protect sea turtles? All right. Chapter 4, Time in the Sea. Scientists can give you minute-by-minute accounts of a mother sea turtle's activities on land. But once she returns to the sea, most of her life and that of her young remain a mystery. Scientists have only a vague idea about where baby sea turtles go. Once they have made it to the water's edge, the newly hatched sea turtles swim continuously for 24 or 48 hours until they have escaped the dangers of their birthplace. How do they know which way to swim? At first, they swim into the waves as they move into deeper water. The hatchlings switch to an internal magnetic compass. Biologists believe sea turtles can sense the angle and intensity of Earth's magnetic field. They are swept along by ocean currents until they reach areas where the currents converge. Scientists believe that young sea turtles spend their early lives, researchers call it the lost years, drifting in the open sea, often hiding and feeding in floating seaweed. Although hatchling-sized turtles have been seen in the Sargasso Sea, no one has yet discovered where most baby sea turtles spend their childhood. No one even knows how long this period lasts. Although estimates range from 3 to 7 years, once they reach the size of a dinner plate, fewer other animals can eat them, and the young turtles may dare to come closer to land. Sea turtles take between 10 and 50 years, depending on the species, to reach the age when they can reproduce. It's hard to tell the age of a sea turtle because you can't count the rings on a sea turtle as you can on a tree or even on a fish to find out exactly how old it is. Captive sea turtles in aquariums where there's plenty of food and no predators often live much longer than sea turtles in the wild. So on the opposite page, no one knows exactly where baby sea turtles, such as this newborn hawksbill, spends their early years. Turtle tag, a game scientists play. What scientists do know about the lives of sea turtles in the ocean has come mostly from tagging them. Researchers began tagging turtles with metal tags about 50 years ago. Today, they also use high-tech satellite tags. Scientists glue radio transmitters to the shells of sea turtles, which enable the marine animals to be tracked by satellites. Every time a radio-tagged sea turtle surfaces to breathe, the antenna on its back sends a signal to a satellite 22,000 miles above it. The signals pinpoint its location, its migration path, and how long it stays underwater. In Kemp's Ridley turtles, 96% of the time. Some high-tech tags are placed inside the turtles. PIT tags, for passive integrated transponder, were implanted into the shoulder muscles of leatherback turtles. These turtles caught off the coast of Nova Scotia were released back into the sea carrying barcodes like the ones used to price groceries at the checkout counter scanners. The tags let researchers identify each turtle individually. The only problem is that scientists have to be able to get close enough to scan the tag. Stephen Morrell and a team of researchers from Cornell University tracked 8 tagged leatherback sea turtles for up to 3 months at a time over the course of 3 years. They found that all 8 used the same route to migrate from nesting sites in Costa Rica in Central America across the Pacific Ocean to the Galapagos Islands. Other longer studies of sea turtle migrations, however, showed that sea turtles may vary their paths somewhat. Can you tell how old I am? To find out how old a tree is, a forest ranger cuts down the tree and counts the number of rings on the trunk. Each ring represents 1 year of growth. You can also count the growth rings on the ear bone of a fish, but for some creatures, you can only guess how old they are. Above, scientists tag sea turtles to learn about their migration. Opposite, students measure a loggerhead turtle caught for tagging. Scientists suspect these long-distance travelers follow navigational cues such as the length of daylight and Earth's magnetic field like an internal compass. If we knew their migratory routes, we might be able to reroute boat traffic to prevent collisions between fishing boats and sea turtles. Another way to track sea turtles is by genetic tagging. Brian Bowen and other biologists took blood samples from young loggerhead sea turtles feeding in a lagoon in Baja, Mexico. They compared the kind of DNA that they get only from their mothers with other turtles to trace these hatchlings' relatives. Because mother turtles return to their own birthplace, all the turtles that hatched on a particular beach over the years should share similar and distinctive DNA. To his surprise, Brian found that about half the turtles feeding in the Mediterranean Sea in Europe came from U.S. beaches, even though they returned to the place they were born to lay their eggs. Sea turtles travel far and wide in search of food. This research provides an important lesson for sea turtle conservation. Because sea turtles travel worldwide, no single country alone can protect them. Scientists and children weigh and measure a hawksbill at the Underwater Observatory Marine Park in Eilat, Israel. Scientists from the University of Central Florida take blood samples to find out about a turtle's DNA. So a second look at the questions. Number 1, scientists know a lot about a sea turtle's life on land, but little about its life in the sea. What do you think motivates scientists to try to follow the sea turtles in the sea? Number 2, the text on page 30 talks about the surprising results of Brian Bowen's genetic tagging of sea turtles. Why might he have been so surprised by these results? Number 3, the text on pages 28 and 30 talks about how turtles might follow navigational clues, such as the length of daylight. How might scientists be able to explore this idea further and help protect sea turtles? Thank you.